Right, so today we get to witness the return of Walmart Tom as he is forced to pick sides by a tearful and furious Danielle in what is part 19 of the saga. So recently, Danielle has refiled for an annulment to get Mohamed kicked out of the country in what seems like a desperate attempt to get him back in her life. They met up again, started rebuilding their friendship, and Mohamed even apologised to her family to set things straight. However, last time out, Danielle discovered that Mohamed has a new woman in his life, and her jealousy manifested itself in a barrage of abusive texts and a phone call that ended with Danielle promising to get him deported. In the final segment, Danielle went off to see her lawyer again, who told her that she needs to start gathering as much evidence as possible ahead of the court hearing. Of course, she's not the only one gathering evidence. Whilst Danielle is going to try and convince the court that Mohamed scammed her for a green card, Mohamed is going to try and convince the court that he came to the country with good intentions and left Danielle for good reason.
I have things from the public record, from the courthouse website, showing that Danielle is a criminal. I'm gonna build a case against Danielle to stay in this country.
This court case is going to be a wild one. So whilst Mohamed is browsing criminal records, Danielle is rallying her team. First up, she's off to meet her sister Sarah and her husband Paul again. But although she says that now it really is over and she really does want him gone this time, they just don't believe her.
I feel like if he walked through that door and said, "Oh, Danielle, I want you back," this table would probably be knocked over.
She sat there in silence because she can't even deny it. The only reason that she can say with any sort of conviction that she won't be pulling the annulment again is because she knows that Mohamed really isn't giving her another chance this time.
It is staying this time. It is staying.
Like, for real. Get him out of here. Don't go back.
I know.
Even if she does convince them to sign an affidavit, which I'm guessing they probably will, I wonder how far that actually goes. Like, of course they're going to take Danielle's side and vouch for her story, they're her family, but that's not really evidence, is it? And rather foolishly, whilst trying to find evidence that can be used against Mohamed, Danielle continues to create new evidence that can be used against her. Since finding out about Diamond, not only has Danielle been bombarding Mohamed with abusive texts, phone calls and social media posts, she's also been doing the same to Diamond.
She posted a photo of me saying, "Oh, this is Mohamed's new girl," and I was ugly and how I look like a man. I'm like, you wish I did.
Danielle is actually such a confusingly peculiar specimen. She's supposedly 43 years old, but she looks decades older and acts like someone 4 decades younger. And forget the hypocrisy of Danielle mocking someone else's looks. What kind of high school jealousy is it to take those feelings out on your ex's new innocent partner? And it's not just the Facebook posts either. Apparently, Danielle has been non-stop calling her, messaging her, and even spamming her work email with abusive messages.
When Danielle starts texting somebody, she goes with non-stop. She can send you 100 messages in a couple minutes. That's normal for her.
It is just so bizarre. I guess just like Mohamed, Diamond had no idea what she was signing up for. And to make matters even worse, it's not just Danielle that these guys are worrying about. Certain niche groups in the US have seen the show and taken Danielle's side, and her recent social media posts calling for his head have him fearing for his safety.
I'm having people threatening me on social media, telling me that they are going to come and find me and kick my ass. My life is in danger.
Given Danielle tracked him down in Miami, stalked him there and assaulted him, and has now tracked down his friend to harass her too, he must be constantly living in fear about what she's gonna do next. But as if that wasn't bad enough, he now also has to worry that some psycho Danielle superfan is gonna come get him, and she doesn't even realise how weird all this behaviour is.
Mohamed's been posting all kinds of things on social media about me. He's saying that I'm harassing his friends and family, but I'm only trying to warn them.
As if she's making this insane behaviour out to be some sort of noble favour. Writing one email or message being like, "Hey, I think Mohamed used me, here's some evidence, just be careful he isn't using you too," would have been understandable. But hundreds of abusive messages, calls and posts go so far beyond that. Anyway, determined to rebuild the bridges she burned during her time with Mohamed, Danielle is now meeting up with her son, Corey. Ever since he threatened to throw Mohamed out a window, his relationship with his mum has been left in tatters, particularly due to the fact that when the court hearing came, Danielle didn't take Corey's side.
I do feel ashamed because I never want to hurt my children. I love my children. They're my pride and joy.
You never know what to believe with Danielle. I would genuinely be so interested to see, in light of this epiphany, what decision she would make if the whole thing played out all over again. I genuinely fear that given the chance, she would throw her son under the bus again if she thought that it would help her get back with Mohamed.
Don't get upset, honey. Don't get upset.
No, but no one understands the position that I was in.
That's not an easy position to be in, to have to choose between your husband and your child.
It kind of is though, isn't it? Especially when the choice is just standing up for your kid in court to defend him from criminal charges, or not saying anything at all and abandoning him completely. She basically told Corey that she came to apologise and then, as we just saw, burst into tears. And although it wasn't an actual apology, the fact that she was showing emotion this time was enough for Corey to accept it.
I've always put them first. And this one time, it was the wrong decision.
You can't give her a lot of credit for the apology, but at least she's acknowledging her own mistakes for once. Anyway, with Diamond now warned against Mohamed and Corey back on her side, the next person on her list of people to harass is Walmart Tom. She goes around his house to tell him that she's refiled for the annulment and asks him to sign an affidavit declaring that Mohamed used her. Unsurprisingly though, he thinks the blame lies on both of their shoulders.
I know that in the beginning, Mohamed did things in good faith. You guys got married. You guys both had an opportunity before the 90 days was up to call it off.
So it seems Tom either doesn't doubt Mohamed's initial intentions, or he's just giving him the benefit of the doubt. And given he's closer to the two of them than pretty much anyone else, and he's seen far more than we have, it's hard to ignore him on this. Well, to try and get him on her side, Danielle pulls out the receipts, showing him screenshots of text messages that she claims came from girls who were messaging Mohamed at the time. But Tom isn't convinced.
It's almost like they're in a relationship. He's telling her he misses her.
How do you know that's him?
It is a good point, to be fair. These messages could have been sent by anyone. And even if he thinks these messages could be Mohamed, it's not enough evidence for him to change his mind and declare in a court of law that he thinks Mohamed is guilty of marriage fraud. Danielle then tries pressing him on the trips Mohamed went on, but Tom remains firm and says that Mohamed told him that they were business related. As much as she tries, she just cannot seem to change Tom's mind. And so eventually he tells her that her efforts are better spent elsewhere.
You're wasting energy that you could be using to give to your daughters.
He's sitting here saying I don't take care of my daughters.
I never said you didn't take care of your daughters.
And he just is right. Not just about the fact that he definitely didn't say that she doesn't look after her daughters, but also in the fact that she could and should be using this energy to repair her relationship with them. I mean, of course they want Mohamed deported too, but that's more so that Danielle will leave him alone. More than anything else, they just want their lives to go back to normal, but Danielle just cannot move on. Honestly, I can't imagine how frustrated she must feel, but she is just showing Tom exactly why Mohamed left. The second things seem like they're not going exactly her way. She goes off on a completely irrational tangent, throws a massive tantrum, and storms off. How can anyone expect Mohamed to be in a relationship with someone like this? Also, with how mad she is, I cannot imagine the number of deranged messages coming Mohamed's way tonight.
He knows how to get people to believe him. I want him out of here. He don't deserve to be here.
So, as an emotional Danielle drives off into the distance, a weary Tom basically says that he wasn't prepared to get involved to the level Danielle wanted, and that the decision now lies in the hands of the court. Tomorrow, he's going to meet up with Mohamed and tell him everything. But whilst it seems that Danielle's case is weakening by the second, shortly after leaving Tom, Mohamed makes a fatal error when he meets up with his lawyer. So if you don't want to miss any of that, make sure you're subscribed down below and leave a like if you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.